Hey everyone, welcome back. Bigelow Reviews here. I am Brent Bigelow, and I have a new review for you, and that is Denzel Curry's new album, Melt My Eyes and See Your Future. So this is Denzel's fifth studio album, and his formal follow-up to 2019's album titled Zoo, which is about his hometown down in South Florida, where just the streets are crazy, life is nuts. And that album was actually like the intro to Denzel Curry for me, for real. I've heard a few of his songs, his earlier projects and everything, but Zoo in itself is just a high energy album. I remember listening to this thing when it came out when I was working at Journeys. I would have my phone blasting in the back room, listen to this project, and restocking shoes and shifting shelves and stuff, having a great time bopping out to this thing. And then even like the weird project in between that he did with Kenny Beats, which entitled Unlocked, which was kind of like an anime cartoon vibey thing. Another great album, what I really loved. That came out during like the quarantine in 2020. Needless to say, I really like the high energy Denzel Curry projects. This is kind of where I live. I know Denzel as the crazy guy from South Florida, and just high energy all the time, and has some great bars, great choruses, and every so often gets into like really deep details about just like the trials and tribulations of growing up in an area like that. But this project, man, this album is deep. Like, it took me a few listens before I really got into this thing. Actually understood where he was coming from and how he wanted to do it, because I was ready for like a crazy Denzel album. But once I mentally reset myself and like got into it, I was like, wow, this is probably his best album that he's done so far. Compared to his other albums where he kind of touches on some of like the hardships and everything that he went through growing up, this one he really turns a little more introspective and really leans into those things and not really like backing down from them. Like, he really gets down and gritty into some of the lyrics for this project. A great example of that is a song called The Last, which is easily my favorite song of this entire project. Just the way the chorus on here just like really digs in, the way he flows on this song, and how serious and how deep the lyrics are on this thing, and how just brutally honest it is just impressive. I highly recommend checking that song out. If you like the song, listen to the whole album. This is like a nice this is a nice pilot song for you to get into this album. But the song itself is really catchy. It's very honest and really like quite visual too, for being just like a song. Like, you can visualize everything that he's talking about. But even the second verse on here is just gripping. And I'm not going to spoil it for you. You can go listen to it for yourself and like really dig into the lyrics. But it's a great listen. Another song in here I really did enjoy, and who would have thought this would be like such a well-worked collab, and it's Troubles featuring T-Pain. I love me some T-Pain. I just never thought that, like, you know, the soulful sounds of T-Pain's auto-tune and then Denzel Curry's rough and gruff voice would kind of work together in a strange way, which I loved it. This song kind of has like a more of like a sarcastic feel to it, even though it's still on the honest side. But Denzel and T-Pain are singing and rapping about their hard troubles in life, like how down bad they are right now in this situation. Denzel's talking about how he's living on his mama's couch. T-Pain's exes say that he's a bum. Denzel Curry is a scrub in the terms of TLC. It's just a really great song. I also enjoy this one a lot too. Again, like the honesty on this track, and just even just the way like it kind of is, it's subtly sarcastic. It got a little bit of a giggle out of me. One rough spot on this project for me, though, is a song called Ain't No Way, which I understand. I heard the backstory in this track that like everybody was kind of in the neighborhood when they're like making this song, so everybody kind of like bum rushed the studio and dropped the verse and did their thing on it. But the part on here that's like, they're like, ain't no way, I find really distracting and annoying. That could have been cut out, but other than that, you have like a really great song on here. Rico Nasty has a really awesome verse. Denzel Curry does a great job. Six Black does a great job singing the chorus. J.I.D. has a verse. Just all the people on this song is impressive, and they all do a great job. But like I said, that weird middle part, I hated. Like, absolutely hated. Like, I was ready to skip the song. I kind of gave myself like an eye roll. I was like, alright, I'm not really crazy about that. The song X-Wing, which is kind of like a nerdy track in a sense that, like, you know, Denzel's growing up now. He has the funds to do pretty much whatever he wants, and he's out here like, I don't want a car, I want like an X-Wing, which would be pretty sick. You know, if you actually buy a real X-Wing and you could fly around like Star Wars, that'd be tough. Like, who wouldn't? why not? He does make a reference in here about Skywalker and everything. There's some really awesome one-liner bars in this track as well, which kind of caught my ear and like really made me go like, whoa, that was pretty good. And then he even makes some really great points on here as well. It's talking about like he's making all this money, he needs to go live and make all the money as he can now because like, you know, Mac Miller died before he was 27. Tupac died before he was 26. And then Biggie died before he was 25. And he literally says that in the first verse of this song. It really puts everything into perspective from there. I love the production on this one too, with the strings coming through and just all the layers with the horns and the bass. Just the way this whole song is constructed is a really enjoyable listen. And then like the faint piano in the distance is also like a great little cherry on top. The next song on here, Angels, Denzel talks about all the trials and tribulations he has to go through in life, but still is like, you know, praying about it. And then there's always angels singing in the background and the choir is always going. And kind of keeping the faith as he steps in a puddle of mud or something. Like he's going through life, but that God is on his side. But Angels is truly like a really beautiful and touching song on here. The Smell of Death is another song it's a rather quick one. It's a little quick ditty produced by Thundercat, one of my favorites out there in the music world. He lays down like a nice bass riff. He even drops some like harmonies in the background. Just hearing his bass notes, like you know it's Thundercat. Like it's no denying the fact that he's on this song. But there's some weird production choices in it. Like it sounds like there's like a fire truck in the background, and I swear to God on my life there's a duck quacking on this beat too. I hear it, I'm not going crazy. There's definitely a duck on this song. A duck like quacking. Weird, really weird. On paper this sounds like a great idea. You have Slow Tie on one of the tracks leading towards the end of the project, but like drops this really whack feature. I don't understand the idea that they put, like, on paper this track works, and even the style of the beat and how high energy and like how crazy it is, it makes sense to have him on it, but they have him doing this like, he's singing the chorus with like all this distortion, and you can hardly tell that it's Slow Tie. Why have him on this song? We could use him on another thing. It didn't make any sense. Like Denzel could have sung this and did all the crazy distortion on his voice, and then it could have told a difference. Like it sounds like it doesn't make sense to me why they have Slow Tie doing what he's doing on this song. He's a great rapper. He should have threw a verse on here. And like the whole hyper pop punk electro thing going on in the chorus, it's a weird track on here. But even the mix on this song just sounds wonky too. Like, I don't know, there's just something weird about this track. And then to really like wrap up this entire album, the song called The Ills, it's just a beautiful song, man. The scope of this track is just awe-inspiring. It has like this like dusty lo-fi jazz cafe thing going on with it. It's eerie to like, let's say like Thelonious Monk and then like a Tribe Called Quest made a song together. It would be something like this. It's like the clouds are parting and he's coming through this crazy storm of life, but then like the sun shining down on him and everything's just gonna be okay from here. Like it has this really nice resolute finish to cap off such a dark and really serious album. Then to even like flip it back on its end to bring everything back to the beginning of the album. I kind of did this review in a weird order, but even just to begin this project, the song called Melt Session Number 1 definitely feels like Denzel's going into that storm, which kind of like has this nice like beginning and end feel to the entire project. But Robert Glasper, who is like the main producer and like feature on Melt Session Number 1, it really paints again a beautiful scene of like with this like piano part that he's playing throughout. It's a really great way to start the album, and then The Ills is a great way to the end. Such a great and very serious and detailed oriented project. But when it comes to Melt My Eyes, See Your Future, this album really like changed Denzel's career, I think. Definitely, like I said in the intro, one of his best projects so far. With such a sudden style change to Denzel's career and how drastic of a change this is, it really feels like the equivalent of Tyler going from what he was making to like Flower Boy. How like the tone of his music kind of changed. It got a little more serious. It pulled itself together and really made this beautiful collab of the two different worlds that they're making music in. I think it's a great album. It's Denzel's one of his best. There's a few weird songs in here that I did discuss, but no skips. Definitely no skips. And I really enjoyed this project. But I give this project an 88. What do you think? Put your scores down in the comment section below. Make sure you like and share this video. Subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Twitter at Bigelow Reviews. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Biggie out.